set up and ready to go, but as soon as I've hit live, everything's shifted. I finally have access to live streaming on YouTube. So I've been waiting to be able to do this for so long. I thought I'd show you my vintage haul that I got from Sewbecurated yesterday. To start with, I have set up outside because, believe it or not, the light is better out here than in the house, even with lights on. I actually thought it's really clear until I hit the live button and everything darkens. So I'll just see if I turn this light on, maybe it will help if I can reach it. Yeah, maybe not, I can't reach. I've actually got the phone set up at my desk outside the front door. So of course I've plugged my charger in to make sure my phone doesn't run flat, and it's blocking the doorway. Can you see this? There's a mosquito flying around here, of course. So I'm sorry, I just had a sip of my coffee. If I start talking a bit funny, I broke a tooth last night on a thin slice of cucumber, would you believe? It's very painful, and I've noticed every now and then it's making me slur a little bit. So forgive me if I start speaking a little silly. Before I show you my haul from Sewbecurated, I'd like to share with you this blanket I got. I found a new to me op shop on Wednesday, and I always make a beeline to the linen and then the china usually, but as I'm walking out the door I spotted this lovely number, this beautiful, I have always wanted a purple woolen rug. It's not the purple I had in mind. My niece has these two dark purple rugs that I love, but I think I might like this one a bit better because it has aqua in it, and purple and aqua are two of my favourite colours. So it is a Waverley Mills, Waverley. Oh, I can't get the the label in to show you. Waverley, Edinburgh quality, pure lamb's wool. I actually thought, I'm going to have to Google that. I actually thought Waverley was an Australian brand. It could well be, but the fact it has Edinburgh quality, I mean, I know that just speaks of quality. I'm not sure if it's an Australian one. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's a beautiful rug. So, on to these. I haven't opened these yet either. So I thought it might be nice to open them with you. So this is what I bought from Beck yesterday, and there's a whole story with this. I think have I got them all out? I've got a feeling I've dropped one. I know what's missing, the zippers. I've left them downstairs. I bought 2 neon zips as well. So let's start here, shall we? A packet of, I'm trying to keep out of that light, that shadow. A packet of vintage yo-yos. Now there's been 2 things on my wish list for a long time, and I usually only see them available in the States or in the UK, and that is old vintage quilts or quilt pieces, or vintage yo-yo quilts. So this is a piece of vintage yo-yo quilt that I bought from Beck at Sewbecurated, and they're just, I don't know, I love them. My mum said to me, why don't you make your own yo-yos? You can do your own. And I said, oh yeah, I can, but they're not vintage, are they? So I think these are just beautiful. I love looking at them, looking at how they've been constructed and put together and the types of fabrics that have been used. So that's the first thing. I'll put that back in its little sleeve so it doesn't get dirty. Now another thing I'd like to point out, I often look for textiles that have stains or marks on them. I don't know if any of these do, and don't get me wrong, I didn't go there looking for fabrics with stains or marks on them, but a lot of my other linens I have do, and one of the reasons that is because a friend of mine owns a second-hand, look at that, there's stain on this, so I love that, and I'll explain why soon. A friend of mine owns an upcycle store, and she cannot on-sell the linens that are stained or damaged, and they're the exact ones that I love to use. So she saves them for me. So this is the back of a piece of vintage quilting that I got from Beck. It's got a lovely stain here, and then on the front we have these hexagons. There's a bit of staining in here. Now, I love it, and the main reason I love the staining is because it has a history. It gives it a history. It gives it, what's the word? It's on the tip of my tongue. And I can't remember. Look, it's worn through there. Look, it's just beautiful. I don't know what it is about aged textiles. I just love them. Absolutely love them. Someone has sat and hand pieced all this and top stitched it in places. Look, it's worn here. It's just gorgeous. I love it. So that's another thing I got from Beck. Piece of quilting. Now these I will be using to make some needlebooks in the style that Beck does. And it's a bit of a story. I have all these linens, and I have been making needle cases. Sorry, that's noisy. I'm just going to have another sip of my coffee. I have been making needle cases from my linens, and a lot of the linens I'm using at the moment I have eco-dyed. But I was looking for some more ideas and inspiration, and I came across this needlebook that I just fell in love with, and it was made from pieces of old quilting and linens and things. I came across it on Pinterest, and I followed the link, and it was from a class that was taught at, I think it's called Green Door Studios in Robertson in the Blue Mountains in New South Wales. And I had a bit of a look on their website, had a poke around. I couldn't see that they had any upcoming workshops on offer. And then I sort of thought, oh, you know, it's a bit of a drive for me. It's not really within my budget. If I went, I'd have to stay overnight and whatnot, and I wouldn't be able to take my dog, and I go everywhere with my dog. So I thought, oh, that's a bit of a bummer. I would have liked to have done that. Anyway, I kept digging, and I fell down a rabbit hole, of course. Anyway, the lady who was teaching the workshop, Beck, I discovered that she owns a shop 30 minutes drive from me. So the next time that she opened, which was yesterday, I made a beeline in there, and that's where I bought all these lovely treasures. So here is another yo-yo. Oh, I love this one. And this is square, so I'm assuming this may have been a cushion. Maybe it may have been a table dresser doodaddy. I'm lost for words today. I'm sorry, my brain's just not working. So absolutely love this. Don't know how vintage the fabrics are, but they're certainly not new, that's for sure. They're beautiful. These ones, I'm sorry, that was my pager notifying me. They're beautiful fabrics. They're a bit heavier than the first ones. I guess they're not as worn, really, but they've got that beautiful aged patina, and they're so tactile. That's another thing. You could probably notice I'm constantly doing this. I love how they feel. So that was the second thing I purchased. I've got to try and remember how it was folded in its little sleeve to keep it clean. I hadn't thought before of telling how much I paid for things, but I did watch a YouTube this morning, and the lady, Rachel I think, was sharing the prices, and I thought it probably is a good idea, to be honest. So this was $45 for that piece. The wool rug I bought was $6. This piece of, that lighting's dreadful. These yo-yos were $9. So, you know, $1 each. You can't complain about that. This piece of quilting was $10. And then I've got these two kits. These are kits for the Needlebooks. This one was $50 and this one was $45. Don't know which one to open first. I feel like I'm a little kid in a lolly shop. Isn't that ridiculous? So let's have a look. That's a dreadful noise, isn't it? It must sound dreadful on your end. Let's see, there's some doctor's flannel I can see there in the back, which is always a lovely textile. That will be for the needles, of course. Now let's go this way, shall we? I might flip it over so we can put it back together. So here's a piece of doctor's flannel. Here is a piece of quilting, vintage quilting again. Maybe if I turn it around you'll see it a bit better. So this can be, I guess, I'm not sure how I'm going to do these yet, because the way Beck's done them, she has included some zippered pouches in them. So I was envisaging in my mind that I'd make a couple, probably that size when completed. I'm not sure yet. So anyway, piece of quilting. Here is a linen napkin, or half of a linen napkin with some embroidery. There's that one. It's lovely linen, that. That has some age spots on it, which is great. Then we've got this doily. It's very pretty. The edge is quite fun. I should have put my glasses on. I can't quite see how that's been done. I'm not sure if it's crochet or needle lace. I think it might be needle lace on that. Then we've got, oh, I've actually got more of this, I think, or it's very similar. This lovely piece of lace, cotton lace. These are the kinds of things I'm drawn to. I love cotton and linen. I don't like any of the synthetic ones. Then there's this piece of linen with the lilies on it. There's this lovely little, is this a sandwich tray? Isn't that pretty? It's a little one, isn't it? It's so pretty. Look at those flowers. Look at that. Little bullion knots, tiny little bullion knots. They must be single strand. I can't get that in focus. I'm a bit disappointed with the back. I was hoping it would be immaculate. I'll show you one day. I'll show you. I've got one here somewhere in my collection. I'll show you how the back should look on these embroideries. There's this beautiful vintage ribbon. I love that. And again, I've got another piece similar to this somewhere. It's finer though. And then we've got these lovely little initial tags. I love these sorts of things. So that's the first pack. That was the $45 one. And again, I'll just tuck that away so I don't lose any of those bits. I'm losing my camera. I'll just fix my camera before it falls. Okay. And here is the second one, so let's open it up. I'm trying to get out of that shadow again. Again, doctor's flannel. Lovely piece of doctor's flannel, which is, if you don't know, it's wool, pure wool. So this is really great stuff for your needle case because you don't want to put your needles into well, anything that's not wool really, because they'll tend to rust if you don't. Then there's this napkin. That's quite pretty. It's got a, oh, I can't remember the name of that edge. My goodness, my brain today. Then there is this lovely doily. That one's quite pretty. It's a little bit, there's an age mark there. It's a little bit chunkier than what I'd normally go for, but it's very pretty and I will use it. Then we have this lovely piece of vintage fabric. And you know what, I'm kicking myself now. I used to have pieces of vintage fabric like this. And I didn't keep them. I didn't see the beauty in them when I had them. And here's another piece of that hexie quilt. Then we've got some more yo-yos. Little piece of cotton lace. And this lovely, I think this would be, yes, this is an egg cover. So when you used to put your egg in your egg cup, you'd sit this on top of the egg before it was eaten. And that's really cute. I don't know if I could get, I don't know what I could do with that, whether I make it a pin cushion or a little, I don't know if I could get a zipper in there. I don't know. But that is lovely. So that's it. That's my haul from Sewbecurated, from Beck. And I'm excited to get started on a needle case. I'll stop talking while I put this in so you can hear me. Goodness gracious. Okay, that's back in its little cubby hole. So, I thought I'd also show you, I called into my friend's shop on Wednesday to see if she had any new linen in or vintage textiles. Sorry, coffee time again. And I did get some from her. on Wednesday. So I really like this one. A little basket with flowers and a ribbon. This is so pretty. That back's a bit neater, but still not. I've got one here that's almost mirror image of the front, which is how my grandmother, I can't remember if it was my grandmother or my great aunt used to stitch. Then I've got, oh, this one, that was $3 for the little basket one. Then I got this green one, which has been stuck together with sticky tape. Oh, I see. I think. I'm just trying to open it. You don't want to see how I'm opening it. I'm using my... this blade's buggered, so... Got this pretty green one. And again, I don't normally go for these colours, but after seeing what Beck's done, I've got a whole new appreciation for... This is unusual. This has been stitched. This is the front, the face, but the edging has been attached upside down. That green has been crocheted upside down. So that will do my head in. But that one was $1.50. And I don't have my glasses on either, so I'm surprised I even picked that up. I love this next one. This is one of my favourites so far. This was another $3 one. This one might have to stay in my personal collection. Lotus Blossom. Isn't it gorgeous? I might even be able to take a pattern from that one and make another one. The back of that's fairly neat. That's one of the neater backs I've seen. So it's almost a mirror image of the front. There's that one. And again, I don't think I would normally have purchased this until I had seen the way Beck had done these needle books. And again, I've got a whole new appreciation, as I said. Then I got this little number. This one was $3. So that's a lovely one. It's got a lovely edge on that one. Again, that back's quite neat. Lovely linen. A couple of age spots on it, but that's all good. It's funny, the textures of the some of the different linens. Some of them are so buttery soft and others are quite coarse. I got this little one. This is another one that I wouldn't normally pick up, but I had seen that, I think it was Beck, made a pin cushion out of something like this. So, someone did anyway. 50 cents for that one. Then I got this piece. This piece I undenied. I put this back and then I went and got it again and then I put it back. It's done quite roughly. It's chunky. The edge is chunky. This was $6, this one. But it is on heavy linen. The back's not too bad actually. But see these chain stitches? It looks like they've used 6 strands. And to me that's quite chunky. I wouldn't stitch like that, but it's very pretty. And the edge is quite a heavy cotton as well. But it's very pretty, and I'm sure it can be used for something. Look how effective it looks through the camera. You can't see what I mean, well, you can, but it looks different in real life than it does on the camera, if that makes any sense. Now I'm talking gibberish, aren't I? Goodness. So there's that one. What else did we get? Oh, This is a lovely piece of linen. It is, I believe, an embroidery linen. I don't remember what it's called, but it's absolutely gorgeous. I absolutely love linen like this. That was $12.50 for that piece, and it's 1.2 meters by 1.1. So I ummed and ahed again. I thought, oh, you know, it's a bit expensive. Then I thought, oh, that is ridiculous to think that, because if I went to buy that in the shop, I would probably pay 4, 5, 6 times the amount for that piece of linen. So it came home with me. This is another thing. I did buy last week before, from my friend, a couple of meters of doctor's flannel. And I probably should have got the other ones over there too, because I know I'll use them. So I didn't really need any doctor's flannel. But then again, when I saw what Beck was doing and some of the other ladies using different coloured wools for their needle books, I saw this. So these wool offcuts came home with me as well. This was $5 for the bag. And look, some of them are already nearly cut to size. They're quite chunky, but geez, they will be used. So that, again, something although that they have had bags of wool offcuts over there before, and last time they had some beautiful colours. I picked up about 5 or 6 bags, and then I thought, oh, that's ridiculous, what are you going to use those for? And I put them back. So that one actually feels like it has mohair in it. It is so soft, it looks like mohair too. Beautiful. And then these next pieces were actually gifted to me. So as I mentioned earlier, my friend is not able to on-sell pieces that are stained. They can on-sell unfinished pieces that people like to complete, but ones with heavy staining, they can't. So as I mentioned earlier, because that's what I look for, I am incredibly, incredibly grateful that she saves these pieces for me. So here's one. It's a linen, Semco linen. It has been started. It is a cut work, I believe. It is unfinished and it has some age marks on it. So, I mean, I could finish that. It won't look the same, but I could potentially finish that off and use that. I also got, these are funny. I'm not sure what these are. I've got all these, everything's falling down. I've just piled it up there and now it's all falling down. So I've got all these pieces of filet lace. And they're all been made separately. This poor piece is worn. But you can see this one's been joined here. So that's one piece. That's one piece and that's just another piece. That's another piece. That's another piece. Some of them are a bit worn though, so I don't know how exactly I could use them. I've got some ideas. There's another piece. Another piece. Maybe they've come out of an insert in a table, as inserts in a tablecloth. I just thought of that. So I'd say that's what's happened. They were probably inserts in a tablecloth. And then there's these, another corner piece, and then another single piece. So I've got those funny little bits. Then I've got this beautiful piece of broderie, cotton, broderie on glaze in a cotton. And it has some age spots again. It's beautiful. It's quite a fine piece, this. Very nice. Lovely piece of cotton. And there's, look, there's what, one, there's about 2 meters in that. So that's pretty cool. That will be used. And then these are quite scrumptious. I've got this roll of beautiful lace. Look at that, look at those age spots. So as you can see, there's meters in that one. So that's beautiful. Then I've got, I'll show you this funny bit next. I cannot work out what this was. At first I thought it was a collar, but you cannot fit a head through there unless it was for a child. So I thought that might have been the shoulders, and this was the front. But that is a very small hole. My head will not go anywhere near that. Yes, I have tried. It is irregular, so it can't be a doily or a placemat. It has to be a garment. It has to be from a garment. Yeah, don't know. If you've got any idea, I'd love to know. It's hard to get it all in the shot to show you, but it's all hand crocheted filet lace, or fillet lace, filet I think it's called. There it is, folded in half. Again, I can't get it all in the screen, in the shot. So yeah, there's that funny little bit. Oh, I do spinning, so she's thrown in some little mohair curls, which I know I'll use. I love these. I was actually after some of these recently, so that's quite serendipitous. Then I've got this beautiful, this is another hand crocheted piece, and this is a, I don't know, it's a bib. Would you call it a bib? I can't remember what it's called. So it's the top of a gown. So this is the bit that goes over the shoulders, and that goes, you know, under the arms here. The armpits would sit in here, and then it would have had a either cotton or linen, probably cotton, skirt attached that would have dropped. So it would have either been a little night top or a dress, a nightgown, I'd say. So that is quite stunning, that piece. That's hand crocheted again. And then I've got this number. This, I just love this, absolutely love it. A piece of clothing. It's very tiny. I would imagine this would have been an undergarment. It is cotton. I think it's all cotton. It's all pieces of lace joined together in strips and rows. You can see, oh, that bit's come out. Up here, there is an old piece of a remnant of silk ribbon. You can see the silk ribbon running through here, and I'm assuming it's silk because it's moth-eaten. You can see the little moth-eaten bits, and it's just deteriorated. So it sort of runs from the front here where it's deteriorated away, and then it disappears, comes up over this shoulder, but then it disappears on the right hand shoulder. Now that same ribbon would have run through the sleeves here, and it's gone now. And there would have been another piece running through the waist here. But this is so immaculately constructed. These pieces have been embroidered. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. It's a stunning piece. As you can see, it's very stained. I don't know what on earth I could do with this. I don't know if I can come at cutting this piece up, but I don't know what on earth I could do with it. It's just beautiful. I don't know if you're aware or not, but here in Australia, because we're such a young country, well, I say that with bated breath, to be honest. Since we have only had European settlement in this country for the last 200 odd years, I guess that may be a better way to say it, we don't have a lot of vintage textiles available. So when I come across pieces like this, I become incredibly excited. And then when we do find pieces, sometimes they are so expensive, it's eye-watering. So these beautiful pieces, as I mentioned, have been gifted to me, and I am just so incredibly grateful for that. I've got so many things I want to share. I don't know whether to do separate videos or not. I suppose I can show you this piece. I've had this for a while, which is absolutely stunning. And this is just, what I'm showing you today is just a small portion of my collection that I really need to get organised. So this was $10 and these cottons came with it. I do have other vintage cottons around, and this is just absolutely stunning. Look at the edge for starters. That's been hand crocheted or crocheted, and then someone has started to embroider, and the embroidery is just stunning, if you can see that. It's absolutely beautiful. I think it's been done with 2 strands. See if we can see the back of the work. I don't think I'm as good as this anymore these days. I used to be. I used to be a very neat embroiderer, but I don't have the vision or the dexterity anymore. So here we go. This is the back. This is what I was talking about. This is how the back of the work should look. Isn't that incredible? Beautiful. Here's some more. This is the back again. Look at that. Absolutely stunning. So yeah, that's another piece that in my collection that I tell myself I will finish. I really should, because it's so beautiful. It does have quite a few age marks on it. Trying to fold it back how it was. And of course I dropped the cottons. So yeah, there's another piece in my collection that I probably will not cut up to use, but there are other pieces in my collection that I said I'd never cut up either, and I have. So I don't know. I don't think I could come at this. It's just stunning. Beautiful piece that might stay in my linen to use on the table. So I'll seal that one back up. The reason I'm showing you this is because I'm trying to share what I have on hand that I can use in these needle books. So there's another one. What else can I show you? I've got bags here, and again, this is just a small portion of my collection. Here's some more doilies. Some more doilies. Some more doilies. Oh, and here are the neon zippers I bought from Beck, from Sewbecurated, with the original stuff I showed you. And I'm kicking myself that I didn't buy more of these because I've got so many ideas for them now. Here's another piece of, this is another hand crocheted piece, and it's got shoulders and it opens at the front, so I'd say it was off a bed jacket. It's hard to open it out to show you, and this piece has holes in it, but this would have had a cotton bottom on it as well, a skirt I suppose. I've got some vintage Rick racks. I don't have them all together. I've been collecting for many years, many years, and I'm only just beginning to pull them all together. So I have little bits stashed all around the house, and it's time that I try and start pulling them all together so I know where they all are and what I actually have. Here's some more bits that are works in progress. This is another cut work that has been started. This poor bird is very chunky. That's the only one that's been completed. So there's another cut work that project that I have. Here's another one. This is, I believe, a large square cushion that needs to be embroidered. It's a basket, some flowers in a basket. There's that one. Some of these have come from family, my grandparents, aunts. Some of them are just from op shops over the years. Some of them are from friends that know I collect. So I can't remember where they've all come from, I'm sorry, because it has been so long that I've been collecting. Here's another project. That's the only piece that's been started on this one. This is a tray mat or something similar. Tulips. I don't know if I'll leave that or redo it because it's a little bit chunky for my liking. So I've got that one. And then this one's beautiful. I say that all the time, don't I? Beautiful piece of linen. Again, this is a heavier piece. All the threads are still with it. 100% pure linen. And it's got carnations and pansies. Very pretty. Sweet peas. And I can't remember how much that was. I believe, from memory, I'm pretty sure I bought this last year at a garage sale for $1 for that whole piece. I'm about 95% sure that's where that one came from. So there's a couple more there. I'll quickly flip through and show you some of these doilies. I have been using these in other things I've made. This one's very, very nicely done. This is a lovely one. They're all pretty, really. I like this one. It's got a bird on it. And there's a little... It was probably part of a Duchess set, I guess. The back's pretty neat on this one. I like this one. This is pretty. Reminds me of jacarandas, even though they're not. It's more like daisies, but that's a pretty one. Got this one with a birdhouse. We open it up and there's bluebirds. Got this one with pink geranium. That's half of it. That's quite large, this one. That's beautifully stitched, this one. I'll try and... Don't know if you can see that stitching clearly, but it's beautiful. It's done by hand. It looks like it's machine stitched. Actually, looking at that back, it might be... No, it's not. It's all done by hand. That's incredible. That's incredibly neat. Well, there you go. So there's that one. Oh, my phone. Sorry about the buzzing. I haven't been able to turn them off. Then there's another one the same. And I've got quite a few of these Battenberg. I used to make bunting, Battenberg bunting. So I don't have a lot left, but I've got some of that. I use these a lot. A lot of these, I had a set, these were napkins, and they were, some of them were very heavily stained, and I have used these a lot in my journals and needle books and things in the past. I've eco-dyed some. This is an unusual piece. It has this incredibly heavy cotton lace around it. I believe this is a needle lace. It's absolutely exquisite. We've got this one. I've used some of these ones as well in my creations in the past. It's quite neat on the back. This is a pretty one. I think we've had a matching one. Would that match with that? Can't remember now. That one. Yeah, there we go. Look. Matches with that one. So there's a Duchess set. There's 3 pieces in that one. These, I remember these at my uncle's house. My great aunt used to have these all around. There was a heap of the pansies and they fascinated me because the pansies used to sit up. There goes a car. There's a crocheted one. I've got a few of these. I love these ones. I don't recall what this is called. It's like a tape lace with the needle lace filling. Got a few of these. That's a needle lace one. More of the tape. It's like a braided tape, not the cotton tape that you often see. This is a cute one too. Another basket. And some little, these might be good for pin cushions. This is a cute one. I'm not sure how to use this, whether to deconstruct it or use it as it is. This one's fascinates me. Piece of linen. It's been hand turned. So it's been hand turned, probably needle turned, and stitched down. And then this lace has been knitted. Unfortunately, there's some holes in it, but it is so fine. It's not square at all. I don't know if you can see that, how irregular it is. And I absolutely love it. It's one of my favourite pieces. And then I've got pink. Now, I think I mentioned earlier, I never used to like coloured pieces, but they've really grown on me. These were ones that have been given to me over the years. The pink star. This green one reminds me so much of the 70s, it's not funny. I don't know why. Maybe we had them. It reminds me of 70s clothing, to be honest. There's another crocheted one. This is another beautiful piece. I don't know what this would have been. It's like a pointy star shape. I imagine it may have sat you know, I've got a feeling these sides may have hung down for some reason. I don't know. It's just an unusual shape. Sort of reminds me of something you'd see in the church on top of a chalice or something. I don't know. This is another one that I've used in my work previously. Its twin was very stained and I ended up using it. Here's another filet lace crochet piece. Another unusual shape. This, I believe, is just a piece of cutout with a crochet edge around it. It would have been like a curtain lace or something, this one. And then I've got a couple of these left. Oh, I think I've got more of these in my box downstairs, but yeah. Yeah, the gist. Here's another little pincushion size one. So I've got those, and then you're probably sick of seeing these, but these are all things that I'm now having these ideas running through my head. Oh, I could do this, I could do this, I could do this. So again, this is just a fraction of my collection. Don't know where to go to from here. These are finger towels. Again, you can see a lot of them are stained. I didn't think I'd ever cut these up, but I think that may be changing. I mean, what am I really going to do with them if I don't create with them? To be honest, let's be real. I've got more finger towels here. I just can't see them. Here's this is interesting. This is a linen tea towel that's been embroidered. So that's quite cute. I love these finger towels. There's another one with some tatting on it. This one's quite delicate. It's on a damask and there's little bows. I don't know if you can see them in the damask. That's a pretty one. This one, this is a commercially manufactured one, but it's still very pretty. Another commercially manufactured embroidered one. This is an unusual fabric. It feels synthetic, it's stiff, and yeah, it probably hasn't been washed, so it probably still has sizing on it. But it's still quite pretty. Another finger towel. Now this is a little, I love this, and I didn't think I'd ever use this, but I have seen them used in the Needlebooks. It's a little, I guess, a lingerie pouch or a handkerchief pouch. It's a little linen. It's very pretty. Again, commercially embroidered, but it's stunning. Another finger towel. Again, commercially embroidered, but look at that. It has fish, goldfish on it. I don't know. It's all crumpled. It's beautiful. Reminds me of, probably is Chinese. My uncle used to bring a lot of linens home from China. A tablecloth. This is worn and stained, this one, so it may get chopped up. I'll save these ones till the end to show you. Some more doilies. Doily. And then I've got a collection, a small collection of hankies. Here's another doily. cutwork doily. Little sandwich tray doily. I used to have a heap of these. I don't know what I've done with them all. I bought some last week actually that have not been worked yet. I forgot to bring them out. I'll put that aside for a minute. Some napkins. Now, some of these I've got two of, some of these I've got two of, some of them I've got up to 12 of. Another napkin. That's just that reminds me of something from the 80s, that one, like a Sheridan fabric or something like that. Another napkin. 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 I've used these in my work before. Napkin. 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 And I've used these in my work before. And then some more hankies. I've got men's hankies. These are pretty. These are from Hong Kong. This one's from Japan, and I'm spewing that it's got these stains on it because it's just gorgeous. Look at that. That's so pretty, that hanky. That was one of my uncle's. Another hanky. And those dots are stains, they're not embroidery. Hanky. 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 A lot of these linen ones are from my uncle, and a lot of the crocheted ones were probably my grandmother's, the tattered one. Hanky. I think that one's backwards. No, it goes that way. Shadow work. Hanky. Hanky. Uncle used to bring home these ones and family members would crochet around them. He used to do some crocheting too. Another hanky. Hanky. This is one that would have gotten a crocheted edge put on. It's another one of those. And then I've got these. Don't know what I could do with these. Floral hankies. Pink one. These ones are beautiful. Uncle had packets of these and I've used some of these before, and I'm now kicking myself that I have used most of them. And the colours run from the thread. Another hanky. These ones remind me of ones I had when I was at school. This one's cute. This is an unusual one. It's I don't know, it's a very soft, it's like a synthetic fabric. It's stained. It's like almost like an organza. It's not, I don't know what it is. It's like, it even reminds me of something that an old nightie would be made from. Another one of these. That one looks more like a napkin than a hanky. It's a heavy linen. So yes, there's some of those. I'd like to show you, and again you won't be able to see this very well unfortunately because it's too big. Put these, hang on. I'm running out of room. I'm just going to pop these back away so I can show you these last few items. Now I do have a box full of different vintage cottons. I've got a big plastic crate full. There's something else in my collection. And I've got things like this. This again isn't all of them. I've got things like this. I haven't used this yet because you can see that's not all anchor. Most of the, oh yes it is. It's very soft embroidery thread, but it's quite thick. So I haven't worked out how I can use those yet. And then I've got, I love this box. My precious little Silco. And it's full of, certainly not my favourite colours, but yes, there we go, Silco embroidery. It's another one of my treasures. Now I just want to show you these last tablecloths, and again, as I mentioned, this is by no means my entire collection. Absolutely love this mainly because I'm a horsey girl. Not that I condone the hunt, but look at that. This is about about 1 metre squared, this little tablecloth. And there's our fox. We have a grey fox. Maybe I should call him a silver fox. And I'd say there'll be one on the other side. Yes, here's another silver fox. The hounds and the horse. So yeah, that one's green linen. I don't know where this one came from. I don't remember. It's one of my favourite pieces. And then this is another favourite piece. This piece I actually used to take camping to use when we sat down to eat dinner of an evening. I'd set up the dining table out under the awning and use this when we were camping. This, I was going to say it's been hand embroidered, but it's got a tag on it. It does say hand embroidered. Well, there you go. Some poor little person has sat and embroidered all that. It has a beautiful central ring that has flannel flowers. That looks like Hardenbergia, which I have growing out the front. Gum blossoms, wattle. Again, one of my favourite pieces. And I have a beautiful linen print, you know, like the tea towels, that is covered in native flowers as well, that I used to take camping. So yeah, that is a portion of my collection that I thought you might be interested in seeing, and that was all because I wanted to share my haul from Sewbecurated. And I guess that's about it. I'm sure you don't want me to keep going on and on and on about this. I might come back later and get started on one of the needle books if anyone's interested in seeing that. I've got no idea what I'm doing. I have no idea how I'm going to construct it, but we might have a play around or something, hey? Anyway, I hope that you've enjoyed that and maybe learned something from it. I don't know what you could have learned from that little video, but anyway, if you have any questions, please feel welcome to pop them in the comments. And again, thanks for joining me.